Data privacy can feel like this massive abstract problem, right? So how do you even begin to tackle it? Well, we're going to make it super concrete by taking a look at how one state, Utah, has actually built an entire playbook to protect our personal information.
All right, so first up, let's get a handle on the landscape of data privacy that we're all trying to navigate today. Okay, think about it like this. When you're dealing with a private company, buying something online, you usually have some choice about what information you're willing to share. But with government services, like getting a driver's license or enrolling your kid in school, you pretty much have to provide personal data to get what you need. That choice just isn't there in the same way.
So when we say data privacy, what are we really talking about? Well, it's all about protecting and responsibly managing our personal data. The whole point, really, is to make sure our info, whether it's our address or our health records, is kept secure and only used in ways we've agreed to. At the end of the day, it's about keeping you in the driver's seat.
And look, this isn't some brand new idea that just popped up with the internet. For a place like Utah, privacy is a deep-rooted core value. What they're doing now is just adapting that long-held principle for the world we live in today. Okay, so now let's zoom in a bit. How does a government actually get organized to protect our data? We're going to use Utah's framework as our guide here. The absolute cornerstone of their whole system is a law called the Government Data Privacy Act, or GDPA for short. This law basically sets the ground rules for every single government entity across the entire state. And this is where it gets really interesting, because the GDPA turns that big idea of privacy into a clear, actionable checklist. Every agency has to have someone in charge of the program. They have to know exactly what data they're collecting. They need to provide clear notices, collect only what's absolutely necessary, get rid of old data on a fixed schedule, and crucially, tell people if there's ever a breach. It's a whole cycle of responsibility. So this all really boils down to one word: transparency. How does the government actually tell you what it's doing with your information before you even hand it over? Well, they use this thing called a data collection notice. This notice has to spell out in plain English why your data is being collected, how they're going to use it, what might happen if you don't provide it, and who else is going to get to see it. And it has to be right there on the form or at the counter. No secrets. All right, so that's the high-level framework. Now let's bring this down to earth and see how these rules actually work in a place we all get, a school. So let's walk through a pretty realistic scenario. Meet Mrs. Yoder. She's a great teacher, trying to keep track of all the details for her students with individualized education programs, or IEPs. To stay organized, she made a Google Doc listing each student, their specific disability, and the accommodations they need. Then, one morning, she wakes up sick. She's rushing to get her plans to a substitute teacher and makes a simple but oh-so-critical mistake. Instead of sending the link just to the sub, she accidentally emails it to the entire class email list, students and their parents. And boom, with one click, all that incredibly sensitive data was out there. And this is where the playbook kicks in. It shows exactly what the right response is right away. Step 1, lock it down. Immediately go into that Google Doc and change the sharing settings to restricted. Step 2, report it. This has to go straight to the IT department because this could be a legal data breach. And step 3, try to pull that email back if the system allows it. And this isn't just, good advice, it's the actual policy. There's a specific state rule on the books that says schools must report any significant data breach to state authorities within 10 business days of finding out about it. Okay, so this brings the whole conversation right back to you and me, because data privacy isn't just some problem for the IT department or a policy for the government. It's really on all of us. All right, let's play this out with another super common scenario. Picture this. It's late January, tax time is looming, and an email lands in your inbox. It looks like it's from HR, has a link to your W-2, but first, it needs your social security number to verify your identity. What's the move? Okay, so let's break down the options here. Just typing your info in? That's a huge risk. Phishing emails are designed to look real. Hovering over the link to check it? That's a good habit. But for something this sensitive, it's not enough. The only, and I mean only, safe move here is C. Stop. Pick up the phone or open a new email and contact HR using a number or address you already know is legitimate. Verify it first. So look,
It doesn't matter if your job is collecting, storing, or sharing information. The best practices are pretty straightforward. When you're collecting it, ask for the bare minimum. When you're storing it, lock it down so only authorized people can see it. And when you share it, use formal agreements and always, always try to anonymize the data if you can. And really, the big takeaway here is that a real culture of privacy, it isn't built by some giant top-down policy. It's built from the ground up by every single person taking those consistent, small actions, like fixing an old form that asks for too much info, or just speaking up when you see a potential risk.
And that really leaves us with one final thought to chew on. Data privacy is a culture, not just a policy sitting in a binder somewhere. So the real question I have for you is, what's that one small thing you can do, starting today, to be part of building that culture?